a great way to stay in shape.
Follow, follow, follow.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to essentially our final game in this Metal Gear series that we have begun. We are playing Metal Gear Solid 4. And, yeah, if anybody gets to come back later and see this after the fact and enjoy the show, we're just going to be talking about random nonsense. But if you like this game, if you just like hearing people talk about random nonsense, hit the follow button and make sure you're here for the next one. Let's get to it.
Get to it, get to it. Hey.
What he said.
I'll a random person just running around naked. That's fine. It's not like I had eyes to like
I always
not want to see
I always
that.
forget how this starts off because it's like watching TV. It's all these random shows.
Random shows.
Yeah, it's like you can flip through the channels. Like they got some kind of futuristic workout show. There's like a game show on here. And then apparently there's a nature ocean show.
For a while, he wants to give me the second.
Melissa, I'm going to have to ask you to choose your question.
Ooh, ocean vibes.
I think
Yay.
I think all of this is like themes and stuff that are going to be related to story beats in the actual game.
Firearms per year and employs an armed force the size of Mexico and
Uh
Canada.
huh.
Fine.
Why that?
Oh gosh.
She about to get it wrong.
Correct answer is B. Melissa. Oh, Melissa. You know the correct answer was B.
You should have tried just a little bit harder. Hey, Melissa? Never actually.
Will you ever respect the face in your...
A thing that goes bump in the night nearby. Sensitive risks run high. The scum wishes it didn't try. Wakey, wakey. Praying mantis unmanned surveillance system.
Pure, unadulterated randomness. Gotta love it.
Woo. Alright, Miss Little Orc. It's time for you to go on an adventure. F tradition. Live your life.
War as hell. That's how he starts off.
Oh.
You were like, what the heck did I just hear? Yeah, that's literally the first line of this game. They got the like solemn, sad music going on. Cause see, when we last left off, Snake was still fairly a young guy. He was trying to chase down, find out who the Patriots were. There was some kind of AI. They were like running the United States, and he was trying to chase after Ocelot, who was like the mastermind of all the crap that happened in the last game. So it's been like 7 years or something since that happened.
War has changed. It's no longer about nations, ideologies, or ethnicity. It's an endless series of proxy battles fought by mercenaries and machines. War and its consumption of life has become a well-oiled machine. War has changed. ID tag soldiers carry ID tag weapons, use ID tag gear. Nanomachines inside their bodies enhance and regulate their abilities. Genetic control, information control, emotion control, battlefield control. Everything is monitored and kept under control. War has changed. The age of deterrence has become the age of control. All in the name of averting catastrophe from weapons of mass destruction. And he who controls the battlefield controls history. War has changed. When the battlefield is under total control, war becomes routine.
Why is there so much people?
I don't know, I'm just surrounded by violence. Wait. All I get is a knife? Oh, see, clearly I've never played this level before. Like, if you, I guess it depends on what level you play on. Like I was playing on like an easier level and I started off with a rifle in my hand. Now they just gave me a knife. And it's a stun knife. So like there's like a switch you can hit that sends like an electrical current that you can like stun people like a taser. Or you could just shank them. Stab, 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 stab. But with everybody like firing off assault rifles, it's kind of bad that I'm literally running around here with nothing more than a stun knife. Make sure I know how to use this. L1 to ready the knife, R1 to strike, R2 to emit an electrical shock attack. Ah, there we go. What makes it bad is that I can't pick up other people's weapons and use them because everything has got an ID tag. So only that person can use it. If I try to use it, it will fire. It'll just, just sit there. Stay on the offensive. mean, they got these giant walking tanks that move like cows. And I used to wonder why that was, and then I looked it up. Like, why do these things move? Apparently it's some kind of psychological tactic that if they move, you don't really, consider them a threat until it's too late and they're right up on you. Like, that's a weird tactic.
They're having a whole party. I hate for it to make jet.
I don't know where I'm supposed to go. It's been too long since I played this. Can you show us the way?
Do you know deal eh?
I remember that was a major thing that was on the internet. Because they were playing some little weird game where you could just run around and interact with people. I'm having a bad day right now. This tank is gonna kill me. All because I can't figure out which way to go.
I don't like to blame society.
What about society?
For the tank.
Okay. Let's try this
I need to
again.
go find who
I think I'm supposed
is
to like
she in?
trigger some kind of cutscene in one of these
Oh.
buildings.
Didn't you hear me, Snake?
Go
north.
I did go north, but there's only so far north I can go. Do you not see this giant barricade in front of me? Oh, I found it. That was a stroke of luck.
That was hilarious.
Okay, so suddenly he has a rifle. What was this rifle when I was running around trying to stay alive?
Do you really want to know?
I don't think it fits there.
You'll be amazed.
I really would be. I really, honestly, genuinely would be.
The human body is a mystery that the world may never know.
stealth camouflage. Oh, the old box trick. No place for Hideo. It's funny. I don't think they knew how right they were. Ew. Metal Gear Solid 4.
I mean, you're right, it's a monster, but it's just a werewolf. Alright, sir, I'm gonna need you to calm down.
Don't even want to know what's going on over there.
Oh, I'm doing a mission and a werewolf was attacking me.
A werewolf?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was quite rude. Rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. Guy sees me killed. Oh my god, it's his dead, right? No, it's clearly still alive. Is it dead?
Alright. I like how they kind of slick do this thing where it's like almost like one of those BET movies. You're probably wondering how we got here. Well, it all started 2 weeks ago. And then literally they go back like a week or so ago.
It all started when I saw this sphere review.
Oh, the reference. Oh, God. Yes. Yes.
I will never try to do a full 100% of game again after that.
Oh, I did. I did it. I certainly did it.
Never again. Never again.
That's the best. That's the best part about it. Like, I went and got a strategy guide.
See, I didn't. My dumbass is like, I can do it. It's not 100%. All right, let me just figure it out.
Like, no, literally, because it's literally a thing. And I didn't know this the very first time I played it. My mom had bought it for me for Christmas when it first came out. And for anybody who watches this and has no idea what we're talking about, Final Fantasy X-2 is like literally the first sequel ever in the Final Fantasy series. Mom bought it for me when it first came out because I was like a huge fan of the Final Fantasy X. And yeah, I was like, yo, I want to see how the story continues or whatever. So I'm just running around to all the familiar places. I want to go here. I want to go here. I want to go here. And I'm just like going to places, not realizing that I'm progressing the story and skipping certain things that only happen at a certain time. So when I finally got my hands on the strategy guide and I went back, because I never finished that first playthrough without it. So I went back once I got my hands on one and I was like, oh, wow. Like literally, sometimes it's just going to a town for a single cutscene that gives you 0.1 0.12% of the overall completion.
Judging by how rapidly
And you have to go right now, or you will never be able to go there again. So by the end, you'll have 99.5% complete, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Snake, let's try another doctor.
Oh, never again.
It won't make any difference. I'm not an ordinary
So
man.
the next game I'm actually going to be streaming is going to be Final Fantasy. Yeah, that's all the people who died from Fox Die. But the next game is going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I'm probably going to start this week.
Naomi.
So this game is like the completion of his story, which is the reason why we're playing this, guys. And what you're seeing, or what you're going to see throughout the game, is anytime they make references, I'm going to try to catch as many of these as I can. It keeps a count of how many flashbacks I do. And I'm going to try to keep track of all the flashbacks to make sure that we don't miss them for all the references they make.
What are you doing these days?
Colonel
Working
Willie
for an
Campbell.
organization under the UN Security Council.
Aphrodisiac, yep. Final Fantasy Remake. We're going to... I don't know if I want to start Monday.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you think I should start Monday?
Passed a few years ago.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so Eddie says, go for it. Aphrodisiac, what say you?
We found him. In the Middle East.
What?
I didn't want to start it. I was going to start it sooner, but I didn't want to start it while I was still trying to finish this up.
We've got to
Oh, yeah, no, so you just finish it then start the new one.
before it's too
But
late.
now that I'm already on the last game,
Made his move.
I'm like, I'll go ahead and do it during the week. Liquid Snake,
He's preparing to unleash his insurrection.
who lives on through
Is lying
a new body,
in a Middle Eastern
that of
war
Revolver
zone.
Ocelot.
Track him down.
We've been chasing this man for years, and now we're finally gonna go get him. Alright, so yeah, we'll start this week, probably Monday, if not, at the very latest, Tuesday. And we'll chip away at that. As far as Metal Gear, it'll probably be either Friday evening or Saturday.
Two eggs today? Holidays must have taken
Repeats. I mean, you could finish MGS if you want. It's gonna take me some time, but I want to keep streaming. I want to kind of be a little more consistent. So that's the reason why I'm saying it the way I'm saying it, where I can do the remake, you know, during the week, and then this week, the weekend, I can do MGS. Especially because I won't actually be home for the sake of work. I'm gonna stay on the north side. I won't be home, so it just makes it easier to do one or the other, because I'm actually playing this on the PlayStation 3, and you know the PS3 doesn't have the ability to stream. So I was like, I'm gonna do this here on the PS3, run it through my computer, and then I can stream directly from a PlayStation 4 to play the remake.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
What's the situation?
I'm just
It's
inside the city
Otacon.
limits. This place is crawling with lizards.
Ah, AT Corps' unmanned bipedal weapons. Officially designated Irving by the U.S. military. They've spread like wildfire among the PMCs. There are more of those things now in service than tanks. They've got tough armor plate and they're highly agile to boot. Your best bet is to stay out of their sights.
Unmanned. Pretty soon they'll have put living, breathing soldiers out of work.
Even so, that's an awful lot of gecko for this scenario. Their numbers exceed the war price for that region. It must have something to do with Liquid's arrival on the scene.
You really think he's here?
You'll have to find the Army's operatives and ask them yourself. Oh, and Snake, I went ahead and used the Mark II to scout out the area before your arrival. You'll find it up ahead.
Mark II?
It's a remote mobile terminal. Sonny and I built it. The Mark II will provide you with a map of the area as well as any battle situation.
I just need them to give me a weapon.
You should find it
'cause
before you
I've been
do
running around with
anything
this
else.
knife
Okay.
and
Got it.
The rendezvous point is
somebody shot a
marked on your
rocket
map.
launcher at me
I'll be
earlier.
waiting for you there.
What I'm gonna do with a knife when they're shooting rockets? Octo Camo. It's one of my favorite. Oh, that's right. I did pick up this rifle. I love Octo Camo because you can literally blend in with anything. All you gotta do is prompt up against it. You know what's also interesting is that this is clearly a sign of the times. This game came out in 2008 because you can get during this mission you can get your hands on an iPod that you can start playing during the game. So you collect tracks all over the place to add to your iPod that you can listen to. It's like, yo, who has an iPod anymore? Because everybody's running they're streaming their music through their iPhones. I never even had an iPod. I wanted one, but I got one of those, the
Zoom?
No. I don't even know if I knew anybody with a Zoom. I ended up getting one of the SanDisk, like the real slim MP3 players with a little skinny screen. Yeah, I had one of those.
Man, why did I have a Zoom?
Oh, you had a Zoom?
I had a Zoom, then it stopped working. I was like, I stopped caring, then I got an iPod.
Yeah, I had that because that was what was bought for me. You know, I ain't had my own money back then.
Really?
I ain't had no job. I ain't get a job till after I graduated high school.
I mean, I'd like chores, and then I did the snowing. It was really just shoveling snow that helped me to get it.
Oh yeah, it's Georgia. We ain't shoveling no snow. And I
Fair enough.
And I couldn't cut grass because that would be using up, you know, my parents' gas.
What about raking leaves?
So the thing about Georgia, it really is, those kind of things is really a matter of where you live. Some people are down for that, some people are not. Some need it, some really don't need it at all. So just really a reflection of just where you live in Georgia. That you can do certain things.
Gotcha.
What's the reload button? I know I'm getting handled, guys. I'm just really trying to learn the buttons again. I didn't expect to get caught.
Who snitched?
I don't know. But when I find them, they get in this stun
Hello.
rifle.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome.
What it do?
So, back in the day, did you have an iPad, an iPod, a Zune, or a cheap MP3 player?
Snake, are you all
got what's it called? iPod Nano, the one that like a little USB, because I won it in a contest.
Nice.
I had that too. That was nice.
I remember those little things. Oh my god.
Our age is showing.
You know, back when things were handled by separate devices, and your phone didn't do it all.
Right.
Yeah, I
Or when you were the coolest kid in the block when your phone could record and make it your ringtone.
Man, listen. As soon as I found out I could do that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make my own ringtones from now on. We're not doing the basic stuff.
So I would happily go back to a sidekick.
You did not have a sidekick. Okay, you were the one I was jealous of then. Anybody with a sidekick, I was super jealous of.
I had a fake sidekick. I had a quick fire.
And it's more than what I had. The most advanced thing I had was an old cheap T-Mobile flip phone.
Oh no, my first phone was definitely Nokia.
Same.
The
one that plays Snake.
I think I still have it somewhere. Can I use it? Probably not, but it's a good prop.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's like I have old phones that I use as props, like my old flip phone and my old Nokia phone. I use those as props sometimes for TikToks.
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know where my Nokia phone is, but I remember using it as a weapon and throwing it at people.
Oh my!
Because they were bricks. They did not break.
This is facts. They did not break. Like you ain't have to worry about a cracked screen.
What were phone cases back then?
That part.
The phone
case.
The phone case was the phone itself. Yeah.
Yes.
Like and
the phones were out of boxes before out of box was a thing.
Nah, out of box came from Nokia. That's what it is.
Oh, I want to customize my phone and get a different color. You have to literally take the faceplate off and buy a new one to replace it. Yeah.
Eddie.
I
have a new recipe for you, just so you know.
Come through with a new recipe.
Millie, rock.
So the subject came up because I told him, I said at a certain point in this game I'm gonna end up with an iPod that I can literally play and listen to music and podcasts and all that stuff.
Nice.
Cause like they monitor, cause he's an older guy now, so they monitor his stress level, which is was stupid high a minute ago. And if he's like super high stress, it affects his performance. So you can put the iPod on and listen to music to calm him down.
That's a cool mechanic.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty dope, and it also makes you pay more attention, because it's not like the earlier games where you can just like run into any situation and whatever. Like you have to pay attention to the well-being of your character. Like I think 3 was the first time that they even went that route where you had to keep track of the stamina and make sure you eat.
Understood. The state of alert has been lifted. Resume positions.
Alright. Oh my gosh! Why do I keep doing that? I am not good at this stealth stuff. See, this is why I don't play games like Splinter Cell or Hitman, because I would always get caught.
Well, I mean, at least they have actual stealth mechanics. Unlike Red Dead, who's like, oh, you could do this stealthy, but doesn't give you a stealthy way to kill people.
That part.
Oh, that's weird. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Why would you give people faux stealth?
Because as soon as one body drops, everyone's alerted.
That is horrible. Like, don't tease it. Just do it.
It's the glitches for me.
I just realized his name is Old Snake. Yes, they really like drive that home throughout this whole thing. They'll just keep calling him Old Snake. And sometimes
just in case you didn't know, Snake is old now.
Yeah, And it depresses him every time it's brought up. It's the funniest thing because he realizes he's aging. What happened is that not that much time has passed since the last game, but because he's a clone, one of the features that they programmed into him was accelerating aging. So he's only like probably only in his like mid 30s, early 40s at the oldest. But he looks like a 60-year-old man.
Now I can't see Snake without thinking of Boba Fett.
Oh, that's true. That is true. But I think Boba Fett was like the only one who was meant to age normally. Ah, dang it. I am not good at this stealth stuff.
Have you seen the videos where the actor who plays Boba Fett was doing the haka?
Oh, I didn't see that.
It's really cool. Like, he's just on set trying to hype himself up, I guess, and he's just like, I'm gonna have to send it to you. It's so amazing.
I'd love to see that. Wait, what's rude? The fact that they keep calling him Old Snake? Aphrodisiac? I think that is pretty rude.
Aphrodisiac. Oysters.
I remember going on a cruise with my aunt to the Bahamas and eating a food that was considered an aphrodisiac and just being like, well, that's going nowhere.
Right. Yeah, I've never like gone on vacation like that kind of trip with my family. Not to say I wouldn't. But
I've only ever traveled with my family, which is why I'm looking forward to my first trip without them.
Nice. It's definitely a lot of fun. You know, it's liberating. I think because I've done so much with my family, this is like the one time that I get to like do me.
Yeah. Especially since like I'm the oldest granddaughter, I have a lot of like overprotective people that I have to look out for.
I get that. Alright, let me see if I can actually do something with this knife. They are surrounding me. Okay, maybe not.
Come in, Snake. What happened? Snake? Snake!
Maybe if I just run around shooting everybody I see. Would that work?
You said that, and I automatically thought of the GTA version of Making My Way Downtown.
Oh my gosh, it actually worked. I stun knifed somebody right when he caught me. That's now my new thing.
So we're just knifing people now? This is what we became? This is who we are?
Wait, what? I just tased him.
Oh! Jesus.
You tased him with a knife?
Oh yeah, so I have to explain. He has this stun knife that has this electrical feature. If you push like a certain button and you hit him with it, it'll send an electrical shock like a taser.
So like the back of the knife, not the actual knife.
Yeah, if you just like touch him with the blade.
I'm thinking like they actually getting like stabbed and then
like,
on top. Like, damn, that's just overkill.
Yeah, you could either
They're just be sitting there just convulsing while they're bleeding out. Oh god.
Actually, that's gonna happen.
Oh
At a
no.
certain point, somebody is going to get stabbed and then electrocuted.
For the why?
Because Hideo Kojima. I mean, that's literally the easiest way to explain anything.
I mean, in some people's opinions, he's a genius. So
Yeah, well, the most eccentric people usually get that description. I'm not gonna lie, he rarely misses. Let's just put it that way.
with everything you do, you have to be a special type of person.
Yeah, the same could be said for Akira Toriyama.
I can't hear that name without thinking of Housing a Bridge. I'm sorry. Specifically when Jan Valentine says it.
I heard something recently. Somebody was talking about that, or that came up in conversation. Maybe Team 4 Star made a video talking about it, because that became their second most popular series.
Yeah. So much so that one of them got hired to be like to work for Funimation at one point.
That's dope.
This is HQ. All clear. Understood. The state of alert has been lifted. Resume positions.
State of alert is lifted, and it's only a matter of time before I get caught again. See if I can make
With
it.
that attitude.
I gotta cross the street. Oh, he saw me. Let's see if I can.
We know who not to take our stealth missions.
Oh no!
Pam, does your computer do Star Wars?
It probably cannot run Star Wars. No.
Sadness.
I have to get a gaming laptop. And because of Zoom, with work, it looks like my laptop's gonna die soon, anyways.
Audible sigh.
Yeah, whenever someone like shares their screen, the screen starts flashing black. So.
Oh, that's insanity.
Well, not flashing, rather. It goes black occasionally, and sometimes longer than other times.
Snake, it's me. Otacon.
But yeah,
Sorry to keep you waiting, Snake. Allow me
that computer lasted me a good year and a half.
Metal Gear. That's right. Just like
Was it
Rex.
used or refurbished when you got it?
Nope.
Brand new.
Yep. But it's an old computer. It's the Pavilion.
Oh yeah.
Designed to provide you with operational support.
Plus, I got it from Walmart. So.
Walmart.
Yeah, I was in Ohio with my cousins, and that was the closest store that stole technology.
I feel you.
Wish I was good with gadgets.
I'm hoping to hold on to mine for at least
Anyway,
a
because
couple
you had to
years.
dress up as a militiaman, I had the Mark II bring you some goodies.
Yeah, well, if things go the way I want them to, I'm gonna be switching professions soon. So, gaming computer will hopefully be on that list of things I could get.
Oh snap!
I call it
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
all-purpose goggles.
Like I said, I plan on letting this one last for a while, so I let my desktop do all the heavy lifting. It's an old Dell.
I remember I used to have a Gateway desktop.
How was that? Because I only know one person who had one one of those.
It did what it needs to do back then. I had no complaints.
What was it, 7?
I know this is
XP?
but you'll need to protect yourself.
Are you really expecting me to remember that from my childhood? Sir.
Oh, we're talking about way back then. Okay.
Yes.
My apologies.
It was probably XP or whichever one came first.
My I had some kind of Dell laptop, but I didn't get it until high school. That was like my first computer.
By some miracle, it was never recycled.
Yeah, technically the Gateway wasn't my computer. It was the shared family computer. So.
Yeah, right, same. Everything before that.
Same for the shared.
So
I think my first actual one by myself was a MacBook.
somebody trying to talk me into getting one.
Like this.
Editing wise, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just not in the budget right now.
Got it.
Oh no, I feel you.
He's like, oh, it'll pay for itself. How?
Head for the rendezvous point.
I mean, if you're a YouTuber, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it for me right now. Like and
If
this
I
ain't
mean-
paying bills.
I mean, streamers could use it too. When you start editing your videos, put them on.
Hmm. Yeah, but they have larger followings for sure. I'm still fairly new, so I'm like, maybe we'll start getting into that sort of thing when I get a little bit more momentum.
I like the
Again, I'm just trying to get to 1K.
Hey, look, we're gonna get you there.
I'm just trying to get to 1K, and I'm trying to get a certain temporary hair color brand to notice me.
Okay, shout out to the brands. Where's my iPad?
Brand deals.
I told you, Eddie, I'm trying to be a ambassador if it pays.
Oh shoot, I've had my
Oh, yeah,
iPod this whole
okay.
time. I feel silly. It was in my inventory. I just didn't equip it. So I wonder if I can use the Patriot.
Why did I just buy that? It's probably cheaper in the stores.
Ooh,
Damn it.
I got the railgun.
That happens.
And I don't even care about her friendship level, so why am I buying stuff from her?
Don't care about her friendship.
What
kind of
I'm playing Animal Crossing, and I have villagers that are just placeholders right now.
What kind of monster are you?
I mean,
So I now have the greatest gun in the game.
nice.
And I'm only about maybe 20 minutes in.
I'm trying to figure out why hermit crabs are listed as bugs in this game.
That's not nice questions.
I was gonna make something up, but I think I've embarrassed myself enough.
I guess because they're not in the water. And we crawl around.
But they're able to be in the water though. That makes no sense. That's like calling
Yeah,
the
but if we
crab.
go in the water, we can't get them anymore.
The old digitized face from PlayStation 1.
Back when Evan was beautiful.
I forgot I had all of these masks now from a previous gameplay. So like I can look.
Oh, Eddie, did you see what I sent you, by the way?
What did she send me?
Look on TikTok.
Right in face.
Ooh.
Driven.
I'll let me mute myself real quick.
Alrighty.
Oy.
Girl, let me tell you, that's from years of practice. James Charles could never.
Gotta remember how to use an iPod since I never owned one.
Like, sheesh.
Is it better that the only phone I ever cracked was not an iPhone, but the Sony phone?
I mean, price-wise, does that answer your question?
No. I'm saying because it's like I treat them both the same way, so it's just like the iPhone drives a lot more and drive down the stairs. And I'm just like, okay, well.
Hey, do y'all remember Boktai?
What? I feel like I do.
Okay, so Boktai was this handheld game. I think it was the Nintendo DS.
Mhm.
And basically, like your game had a solar panel on it, and apparently that was like a feature during the game. And like there'd be certain dungeons or caves you would go into, and if you were like, because there's no sun in these dungeons, so if your character starts getting weak or whatever, then you have to like go outside, actually outside in the sun, and it would like power up your character to be able to fight. It was a whole thing.
That's a cool mechanic. I'm not gonna lie.
I never like fully understood it, but I always thought it was really interesting because it was a thing that they put in. It was back when I was watching G4, there was a show called Cinematech, and they did like a whole little thing for it on there.
That sounds almost as dope as there was a phone, I don't know how long ago, I think from Google, where like you could take apart certain parts of it and replace it with other parts. So you customize your phone to like the fullest. So like you could take off the camera and put something else if you wanted to.
That's actually pretty interesting, like the fully customizable thing.
Clearly the concept didn't stick, but that sounds like a dope concept.
That's usually how it works, though. Like these things start out with like really dope ideas, but the execution is usually the tough part.
Yeah. I feel like I have a student though that would benefit from it because he's gonna be a future engineer. Like he sat there and turned a toy vacuum into the Ghostbuster vacuum.
Oh, nice.
Like he added lights and everything to it. I'm just like, yo, this kid is gonna be amazing in the future. And his parents support it, unlike like other parents who would just be like, oh.
And he can interchange it cosplay as Luigi.
Yeah, I think he actually said Luigi, not Ghostbusters, but you know.
Essentially, that's what his weapon in the game is based on. Is Ghostbusters.
And they're coming out with a new Ghostbusters movie. I'm confused how it fits into the timeline because they're kids, from what I saw.
So, from what I understand, it's like a continuation from the first movie, like the first movie.
Huh.
But I'm so confused because the second one came out and they're supposed to have daughters, but aren't they boys now?
Be right back, getting a phone call.
Wait, you said who's supposed to have daughters? The original characters?
Yeah, because the second movie was like, oh, the original character's daughters, and now in the movie it's like their sons, I think?
Well, the only Ghostbusters movie that there's been, unless I'm misinformed, is the all-female cast that flopped.
Yeah.
No, that has no connection whatsoever to any of this. It was its own standalone thing. So this is like literally going back to actually do, like, to tie in, and it's saying, hey, forget all of that. Remember the first movie? We're going from there. Because Terminator did the same thing. Terminator was like all over the place with its continuity, and I like read up about that as to why. It's a very interesting thing. They kept trying to start trilogies, but they would never follow through on them. So
Okay, so I don't like that Discord doesn't automatically kick you out when you get a phone call.
So you do or you don't?
You don't. I heard you guys while I was on the phone. I was trying to leave the chat.
Yeah. Unlike PlayStation, that just says, "Oop, you're gone."
Yeah. Yeah, continue. Terminator, Ghostbusters.
So, as far as Terminator is concerned, they did the second movie, which, you know, is like a masterpiece for the 90s. And then Messed that up. First.
Go night night.
That's the best thing they ever did was when they give me a tranquilizer gun. I abuse the heck out of it in every Metal Gear game. Everybody go night night. Even random livestock that had nothing to do with this is gonna go night night. Yes, I just shot a chicken. Big whoop. Wanna fight about it?
About chicken?
They have chickens down here in this little basement area, and I shot the
Kind
tranquilizer.
of like some Popeyes.
I don't know if you would those affect the taste
Most
if it got tranquilized.
Yeah, I definitely would. I definitely want to eat that.
Yeah.
But so Terminator 2 came out, and then 3 kind of did its own thing, and they were like, okay, we don't like the direction it's going, so we're gonna start over. So with the 4th movie that came out, they were gonna build a trilogy off of that storyline, where they had never really talked about the future that is always mentioned in these movies. So they're like, okay, we're gonna build a trilogy focusing on that. And then after that movie was made, and that movie didn't do that well, they just scrapped the other 2 movies that were meant to be for it. And they started over with Genesis, which was supposed to be a trilogy, and then they scrapped that because, oh, it didn't do that well either. So then the most recent one,
Which I still haven't seen.
I haven't either. Dark Fate is going back to the original. It's the original. Yeah, the second movie to pick up from there, and it's supposed to be its own trilogy. But it remains to be seen if they're gonna scrap it and start over again like they do so many times before. I'm like, Schwarzenegger is like old as dirt at this point. Stop rebooting this thing so he can finish.
That part. Let him rest, damn it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so many like computer generated editing tricks you can do before you're now like animating a skeleton.
And that's why I was kind of like with the what was it, the Expendables? I was like, these are all these action movie guys last hurrah before they retire because they're old. But then they kept putting out movies and just like, okay, I guess not. Never mind.
Yeah, they cranked out 3 of them things and just kept up in the roster. They got Wesley Snipes, Antonio Banderas. I was like, yo, y'all just dug everybody up. Yeah, I know that you're resting at home, enjoying your money, but come make this last movie.
Hey, the movie turned out great. Come make another one.
Right. But what was interesting is that Jean-Claude Van Damme was the villain in the second one, but he was supposed to be Dolph Lundgren's character. He was supposed to be that character. But what happened was he read the script. He was like, "Oh, I don't like that. I don't like being a traitor or whatever," because that's literally what he does in the movie. He's a traitor to the Expendables. And he's like, "Oh, I don't like that." And I'm like, "Okay." Oop, I'm out of here. So you gave that up, and then they gave your former co-star from the Universal Soldier movies the role instead, only for you to come back in the very next film and play an even worse villain.
But being a villain is better than being a traitor.
Is it though?
Yes.
Because
I didn't gain your trust. You had me from the jump. I kept the same energy.
Right?
Okay. If I had a clap sound effect, I would do it for that. Soundboard.
And villains, again, is all a matter of perspective. You could be a villain without necessarily being a bad person.
Yeah.
You just kind of took a bad way of doing things in the popular opinion.
That's fair. That's fair as well. But in his case, in this particular movie, oh no, he was just terrible. He was just rotten to the core. He enjoyed killing. This is a whole thing for him. It is interesting because I've never seen Jean-Claude Van Damme as a bad guy.
You gotta switch it up sometimes.
It's always a like there's just like there are certain actors that no matter what, you can see them do both, and they've done both. But there's some people, they've just been the good guy for so long that to see them as a villain, it's just like.
Well, I mean, that's also the problem because there's some actors who are really good at playing bad guys, and it makes you wonder what type of person they are in real life.
Right.
Like, there's some people you just can't see outside of being a bad guy.
Like, there's those old movies, like some of the Tyler Perry movies and stuff, where like years later, every time you see them, you'll only see that terrible person they were in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Especially if they play that type of character consistently.
Terrence Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, hold it. Watch where you pointing that thing.
What's the name has done it a few times, and he's done it really well. Blair Underwood.
Who are you?
Neither enemy.
Blair Underwood is really convincing when he does it. So I would just be nervous around him. But I have a friend of mine who actually met him at some award show. And they talked for a minute, and he was like, he's the nicest guy, he's so sweet, and I'm like, I'm gonna still have my eye on you, sir.
And then there's people who you meet in real life, and you're just like, you're in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I had to say it to myself because you're in Twitch. You're not a very kind person.
Yeah, there are definitely some of those for sure.
In other words, I'm a gun launderer.
Anybody who's watching, is there anybody else that you can name that they played their role so well that you can only see them as a villain, even though they may be a nice person in real life? Drop it in the comments if you do.
Hey, Bayash.
Carrie Payton. Carrie Payton has got to be one of my favorite voice actors, for real. He plays Cyborg in Teen Titans.
Mm.
And what else did he do? He was in Young Justice. He actually played two characters. He was Aqualad, who eventually becomes Aquaman, and he was Black Lightning.
Oh God, you said Aqualad, I automatically thought SpongeBob.
Why? Because of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy?
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they Aquaman and Aqualad are the reason they exist.
Uh-huh.
But if you have not seen Young Justice, I highly recommend it. And that version of Aqualad is super dope. Like, he's got layers.
He's an onion?
Absolutely. No, not an onion. He's more like a parfait. You know, people like parfaits.
Flip up sight. System. Not bad.
Yeah, well, you know, I get a lot of noobs around here.
And he's black.
And if you need them, I got a wide selection of aftermarket parts as well.
I thought that was also an interesting design choice. But yeah, Aqualad is black in that version.
Give her a squeeze.
He actually kind of looks like the guy who I'm talking to right now in the game.
Wait, I got it. I bet you're using an older generation of nanomachines.
Older generation.
Sometimes they don't really jive with the new system.
Seriously, who are you?
So I'm gonna for anybody who's watching, I'm gonna pull up a picture of him so you can see what he looks like.
My day job's working at AT Security. I'm in charge of production control. So I get my hands
I like how when we're involved, your streams turn into more of a podcast.
That's what makes it great. Absolutely.
Did you see the free games for PlayStation Plus?
The Knockout City and First Class? What is it?
Yes. If you haven't already, please download First Class.
I'm struggling to understand it, but I do have it, and I'm definitely trying to get the hang of it.
It's like Among Us. It's a deception game.
Yeah.
But with puzzles.
Yeah.
Not puzzles, but like
The controls and
yeah.
everything is a lot simpler with Among Us, but even then, I'm not gonna lie to you, the first couple of games that I played, I did not do well. It took me a while to kind of get my momentum.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a group together so I don't have to play with randoms.
Fair, and I'm so with that. I think that made it part of the issue for me, is that I was playing with a bunch of randoms who just did whatever.
Yeah, we were talking to a friend the other day, and he said that like he legit just had someone come up to him, choke him, and then the other person choked him out and killed him. Or needs to be killed by the imposter.
So this is Aqualad, ladies and gentlemen.
You can create a
looks just like Drebin. I know. It's like a young him.
What is that phrase from Kinky Boots?
Kinky Boots.
There's a phrase that he uses to kind of like not include non-binary people, but include non-binary people. Guys, girls, and no. I forgot the first two, but it's basically like ladies, gentlemen, and then those of you who have yet to make up your mind.
Can he be trusted?
He's living off the war
sure.
economy. He doesn't let
Let's look it up.
emotions get in the way of business, and he never gets his own hands dirty. The only thing he trusts is money. I share your concern, but what if we keep him
I'm so mad. Like, if I knew Todrick back then, I would have definitely gone to see him in Kinky Boots. I found Todrick's Hall too late.
When did I first come across Todrick?
I first found him when he did his version of Wizard of Oz.
I was there.
No. Let me help me to kind of. When he did that, that was a video that was online. Yes, not a lot.
It was a series of videos. Yes.
Okay, I don't think I saw those. I saw something he was in. I don't know if it was necessarily his, but he was in like a hood ratchet version of like the opening song of Beauty and the Beast.
It was him. Those are all his. Those are all his.
Okay, cool. But before that, the very first thing that I saw that I stumbled upon was when he did that. What do they call those? Flash mob. He did a flash mob of a Beyonce song when her album came out, and he did that in Target.
Yep.
I think I might have seen that one.
That was the very first time I saw Todrick. I was like, yo, this was insane. I would love to do something like this. Then I started like looking at some of his other videos because I didn't know he could sing.
Yes.
And so then I started looking at some of his other videos, and he did the drive-through at McDonald's, and then he did he was singing for gas at like a BP or some kind of gas station. That's when I realized, like, yo, this dude is insanely talented.
I think the first time I saw Todrick Hall was when he was ordering McDonald's.
Oh, the singing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy. Not having a background singers out the back seat window. It's like y'all were on it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was a video where someone was singing or like saying something at a drive-thru, and the freaking the person cursed them out. He's like, "I'm tired of this."
Oh no, you gotta be a good sport, man.
No, because it was a meme, and I guess people have done it several times. So by the time that dude did it, it was just like, I'm over it. I want to quit. Leave me alone.
Gotcha.
From now on, when you pick up an ID gun that says lock, you just let me know.
I guess, man. I always see those videos. I'm like, how come nobody comes to my job and does this stuff?
You're not in the right area.
Apparently, I'm around a bunch of talentless hacks that don't do fun things.
I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get some food.
Like I always like seeing videos like, and I'm like the one person that would participate. Like the guy who he was in some kind of store, and he had like a basketball jersey, and he would like fake play basketball like he was going up for a shot. And he would do it anytime he would be walking down an aisle and encounter somebody to see what their reaction was. And it was like a couple of people that, even though there was not really a ball there, tried to pretend like they were stealing the ball. I was like, these are the kind of people that I want to be around, that play along, enjoy life.
See, but it might also just be the mood because I'm that person. But if you catch me in the wrong mood, I'm not gonna be that person. I'm just gonna look at you like, what are you doing?
Apparently, there was a lot of people in that mood. Then I saw one where he was like walking up to random people, and this has been recreated recently since TikTok's been a thing, where they would walk up to random people, toss them a pillow, and then end up in a pillow fight. And then there was one where he was in like full cosplay. I think he was dressed as Darth Vader. And he would hand people a lightsaber and then challenge them to a duel.
That's dope. The most I see in my area is people doing stupid things. Like one person, I think it was in a Target. Like they were, I'm assuming teenagers, and they decided to go while there were people there, while employees were there watching them. They decided to go down the escalator on one of the like plastic surfboard things.
Most I usually see is just people doing a strip pole dance on the subway line.
Oh yeah.
It's showtime.
Yeah, you can't.
It's like, oh god.
Yeah, you can't do that on Atlanta trains.
I actually like Showtime. I sit there and watch them. Sometimes I applaud them. It used to make my day when I was going to college. I had to take like a 2-hour train ride.
True, but like when you just high, it's just no.
That's true. But then again, I made friends with a group of Showtime dancers. So
nice.
And funny enough, I went to visit my high school one day, and one of them was a student there. I'm just like, what?
You would
small world.
You would think you would see some stuff like that around here. I don't know, maybe. We got at least some folks from Tri-City, which is a performing arts school. It's like the performing arts school in Atlanta. But nah, folks don't really do stuff like that right here. Like you would probably see that more so in the city, like either like on the corner somewhere or at the park, something like that.
I know what you're thinking, but Drebin does have a point.
We got like this outside like shopping block called Atlantic Station.
War economy. Can you imagine what would happen if war just?
And it's like just a whole thing of like surrounding buildings, and they got shops and restaurants and all that stuff in the area. Some people just go out there. I'm one of those people that just go out there just to hang out. That's where I went. The videos where you see me with Cutie Pie Sensei. That's where I was. And they have like this lawn area in the middle, and it's like AstroTurf, but it's this lawn area in the middle, and they do all kind of stuff. They do live performances out there, yoga. In the spring and summertime, they do movies outside that you can go watch for free. You can set up a chair or a blanket.
The quieter things are, the better the bargains. Snake, we'll use the Mark II to deal with Drebin from here on out. He's what you might call a street vendor. The Mark II can act as a kind of delivery boy.
So I said one day I'm gonna go out there and just have some music and just randomly start dancing and see who actually pulls up.
Whenever you pick up multiple units of the same weapon, any extras will automatically be sold to Drebin.
And that's it that you bumped into Cutie Pie Sensei.
In other words, you
said it again.
But and that's your plan, or did you actually do it and that's that you bumped into her?
Oh no, I went to see her because I knew that she was doing this. But cause she was like, yeah, anybody who's in the area, come see me, come support or whatever, cause I'm gonna be teaching the yoga class. I was like, well, I'm
Oh,
a
that's
fan.
cool.
I'll pull up.
Okay. Now go meet up with our
Did she know who you were as well, or was it more so like a fan thing?
Well, she doesn't know me, but she knows of
But she
me
knew of
because,
you.
yeah, because we've interacted pretty frequently on social media. Like she went live on TikTok one day, and I popped up, and she was like, "Oh yeah, this is Jeremy. You know, you're always interacting with my content and supporting and stuff like that." So I was like, "Oh,
That's cute.
so you know who I am at least." I was like, "That's pretty dope." She's really
That's
down
cool.
to earth.
Right now, I tend to go mostly into live the people who I know, but I should switch it up. I know that would help.
Yeah.
I just like the personal, like the very intimate settings of like low viewers.
I get it, and you will actually find there are actually far more of those like intimate, lower, like probably 10 at the most, but on average 4 or 5. You'll find a lot more of those than you think. It's the if you go to that live button in the top corner and just start swiping, you'll find everything.
Mm.
The kind of stuff that you're into and the kind of stuff that you're not into, and through that you may discover some other people that catch your interest. I found a lot of gamers.
Yeah, cause I went into live with someone who I follow, like one of the first people I started following, and the chat was going so fast. I was wondering how he was reading stuff, and he was reading like maybe every so often. So that I was kind of just like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, I don't really rock with those kind of lives because it's just there's no reason for me to be here. There's not.
If I'm actually going to interact, yeah, there's no reason.
Yeah. So, a lot of the people who play games on live, they'll have like 3 or 4 people that are just interacting, and they'll like have dialogue and stuff, and it's a really dope vibe. Then, like a lot of people play GTA. There's one guy. He always gives the title "Cops" like it's a TV show because he'll get on there and do actual like police stops.
So he role plays.
Yeah, but I asked him one day. I was like, "Are you actually playing the roleplay version?" He was like, "No, I'm playing." And his followers says, "No, he's playing the actual game." But somehow he's dressed as a cop, able to do this. It's, okay, that's pretty dope. And and his fans love it.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll find some interesting people just through that you can just interact with, and a lot of those people, when you pop in and interact, especially if you tell them like what you're into, they'll either say, "Hey, go follow this person." They'll start following you, and then their followers will follow you, or
most likely what he does. I'm thinking about like what you said about getting the outfit. Most likely he does one of those missions that gives you the police outfit, and then he either saved it or he does those missions before he starts streaming.
Right. That sounds about right, because I've never caught him in the beginning. That's usually like right smack in the middle of it. But that's entirely possible. Because I remember you guys were doing that with like the FBI or Biff.
Biff agents. I never made my costume, but
I had like the high water pants. Johnny Sasaki.
Get back here.
I'm trying to remember how many people could play First Class Troubles.
I think it's 7.
Is it like 6 to 8 or something like that?
Let me check.
Is that odd number?
I think it is an odd number. I'm not sure.
That's weird. Usually games don't have odd numbers.
It's First Class what?
Trouble.
Trouble. Okay.
I think currently from the people I've told
It's 6.
about it, it's 6?
6.
Okay. So I think we currently have like 5 maybe.
It's a shame this game isn't on PS4. And technically it is. I mean, like if you're playing if you use PS Now, one Winged 630 Senton, that is a mouthful. But no.
Oh no, I'm wrong. We have 6 people. Okay.
Yeah. But it is on PS4 if you're playing PS Now, because they have Metal Gear 2, 3, Peace Walker, and this available on PS Now if you have a PS4. I prefer to actually like have the physical game instead of streaming it, just in case something happens. Like when I do play some things on PS Now, but that's only if I'm just messing around. Like I don't play anything that I'm gonna like play super seriously on there. It's too risky.
I thought about getting PS Now.
I mess with it from time to time. That's how I started playing Little Nightmares.
Little Nightmares was a cool game.
Why are you bothering me? I didn't do anything to you, sir. Go to sleep. Run away!
So they introduced cooking into Animal Crossing, and I'm loving it. However, the food looks so good.
Oh, you know that I that's one of the drawbacks to video games now, is that with the increase of graphics and technology and stuff like that, one of the things that they have really made sure that they do is make food look so good.
Yes.
And
I've been dying to try amu rice, which is basically like an omelet over rice, forever. Because I first saw it in an anime or whatever it was. And in my store today for Animal Crossing, they have amu rice. So you know me, I went to Google Maps and it's like, where's the closest place to be that?
One Wing, yes, I am playing this on PS3. By the way, if you don't mind, hit that follow button. Go ahead and subscribe. Make sure that you are around, because we will be continuing this game. And that way you get all the notifications whenever we go live. And I also will be playing some other stuff.
I'm trying to convince him to play First Class Troubles, just saying.
Oh, you don't need no convincing. I'm gonna give it a shot. I just don't want to play with randoms. That's the only issue that I have. But if it's with you, like...
Yeah, I think if we could get the group together, we have 6 people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's with you guys, then I definitely am down for it. Because then at least I'll know I'll enjoy it. But yeah, like I said, I'll be doing some other games as well. I mentioned earlier in the stream, I don't think you were here yet. I will be playing, while I'm waiting to get back to this, I will be also playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then this weekend, I'll be back on this. So you'll at least get to see some other games. I might do a few things, but, you know. You'll get the notifications whenever I go live. But, Sam, to your point about the food, one that really, really messed with me, even though it's now one of my favorite games, is Final Fantasy 15.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, Ignis, you're my dude.
Feed me. Feed me.
Sir.
And then there's a guy on YouTube who makes I know he makes food from anime. I'm not sure if he also makes food from games. But like I've been tempted on so many occasions to follow his recipes and just like,
I followed one
especially
guy.
the especially the food from Food Wars. I'm just like, yo.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was following one guy who was doing those. Chef John Kuhn on TikTok, and he was doing a few things, and I was like, "Hey, do you also do Food Wars?" He was like, "Not. I don't make a point of it. If something stands out to me, I'll do it." But he was like, "Yeah, this particular guy," and he named him. He's like, "This guy here, he does all of the Food War stuff from episode 1 on." So make
And
sure
then Chicken did the one of the food from Food Wars also. I'm gonna try and push him to see if he could do more.
Yeah, he's been really like doing a lot of different things. He's like a nice variety lately.
Yeah. I was just thinking today that when I'm not doing my cosplay content, maybe I should go back to my origins of just talking to my audience.
So I think I'm gonna make that like a little closet cosplay situation. I'm gonna get him to do his interpretation, his like if he was to be Ignis, since he's the chef.
The chef.
I'm gonna let him be Ignis, and I'm gonna be, especially because I've been doing a lot of camera work, I'll probably be Prompto.
That's dope. I know I still have to do Velma for his Scooby Doo, and then he wants me to do Katana.
Nice.
Which I have to figure out an outfit for that. Velma seems easy, but Katana, ooh, that's gonna be a challenge, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's it. I've discovered a new recipe. Also, I gotta figure out what the name of these guys are. There's a group of dudes, and they did a entire abridged version of Final Fantasy 15. Cause Team 4-Star did Final Fantasy 7, and when I tell you these guys, the level of quality is on the level with Team 4-Star.
Oh, that's the wrong Katana. Whoopsies.
That's how good that was. It's like it was on the level. When I find the name, I'm gonna share it on here real quick, so anybody who's into Final Fantasy, especially 15, can go check them out. Cause that bridge was dope. I rewatch it all the time, and that's literally one of the things. It's like, Iggy, recipes. No new recipes.
You can't die. No.
Maybe making fun of how he says. Let me see who they are.
How am I gonna do this?
3, 2, 1, come on now. I just want to ride my choker bowl up. Eat it reggae beans. It's so cute. Chunky. I just want to ride my choker bowls. That song has never had lyrics before these guys. They gave it.
Chocobos are my favorite parts of the game.
They're freaking
like
adorable.
We had the car and everything, but I was like, nah, Chocobo.
I think once I got to a point where I was like not broke all the time, I would, every time I made a stop somewhere, I would go to the little thing to make sure that I renewed, because I think you can rent it up to like 7 days, and I made sure that I always maxed out the Chocobo rental.
Okay, Snake.
Because I changed the color of mine. I think I made them black, and then I decorated them with the little medals from winning the races, and then I named him Roger.
Okay.
Roger the Chocobo.
This is gonna be interesting. I was looking at Katana so I could think of a cosplay for her. This is gonna be very interesting and fun to come up with.
Okay. I forgot that this was a thing. There's a costume in here where I can, like, I'm dressed as Altair from the first Assassin's Creed. I forgot this was in here. Because the only place that I remember something like that showing up is that Noctis can dress up as
Cloud.
no, as Ezio Auditore.
Mm.
Because for a short time they were doing this little special crossover event where something happened in that in the latest Assassin's Creed at the time that made some kind of reference to Final Fantasy 15, and in return they had a like a festival going on, and the whole festival was related to Assassin's Creed, to the point where there's a certain point where you climb a tower and you can do that the leap of faith into the haystack. And so as a reward, you get to keep the Ezio costume.
They even did a Final Fantasy crossover for Monster Hunter. You can fight the Behemoth. And that fight is interesting.
I did remember hearing about that, yeah. Cause I saw it, but I didn't know what the deal was, and then like I read about it later on that was like a whole crossover thing they were doing with them, and I didn't know that. Cause I'm still like fairly new to the Monster Hunter series. The very first one that came out on PlayStation was the first one I ever played. But everybody that told me to get the game,
That is so pretty.
they played all the earlier versions.
I made the mistake of going on the hair color company website, and they have a cotton candy hair look, and I'm just like, oh, I want it.
She's hooked.
I've been using them since 2019. No, before then. I feel like it was before then. And then I was like, okay, this is a really cool company, but let me try others. And I just keep coming back.
It be like that sometimes. Like sometimes it just, yeah. Everybody has.
It's like I would do the temporary colors more often, but you know, I'm trying to be professional in my job.
I get it.
So
I wanna be professional. Gotta be professional. Oh, he just died in front of me. It'd be nice if I could just stay in these alleys the entire time. There you go, just saved your life.
like it's to the point where I'm tempted to lighten my hair color so that the colors will be more vibrant. But at the same time, I don't have to because these colors are awesome.
Yay!
Turquoise, okay. My hair dry. Not completely. I'm about to put a bluish color in my hair, a turquoise color this week.
Is it for any particular
Um, it is inspired by my Animal Crossing character because she's a mermaid with like turquoise aqua hair.
Oh, I gotta see that.
I was gonna do a video with the brown, but I wasn't sure it was showing camera, so I never did.
Stupid bombs.
And then I had a video for Friday that I just never recorded. But like, we had picture day on Friday, and I went to work with my hair looking one way, and by the time I came home at the end of the day, my hair decided, screw how you had me the first way. Now I'm gonna do it this way. So if that happens again, I'll definitely record that video. Because my hair does what she wants.
Right. I get that. What color do we want? Do we want the pink? Yes, the pink is very manly.
So, do you remember that? I don't know if it was a trend or a phase, but like the whole real men wear pink trend.
Wasn't that related to like breast cancer or something, or was it attached to something of that nature? Or
I
was it
don't
just a
know.
thing?
It would be nice if it was related to breast cancer, but I remember it was just a thing for a while.
I remember the T-shirts. Yeah.
Which is funny because a lot of people don't know. I learned this in one of my classes in college. But originally the colors were switched. Originally when you had a baby boy, the color was pink and the girl had blue.
I wonder why that was. Or why the switch.
So like this color is for boys, this color is for girls thing, I'm just like, Especially when my little ones say it, I'm just like, yeah, no. This color's for no one. Everyone can wear it.
Yeah, the only time I would probably even specify or whatever is just, you know, for the gender reveal, just so that people know. And then after that, yeah.
I get that. I was trying to think of another way you could do it without the pink and the blue, but
It's just it's so universal at this point that it just makes
Yeah.
it easier to just communicate it. Cause I'm not doing like a gender reveal party. Like I just feel like that's a bit extra to do a gender reveal party and then a baby shower. Like people gonna be sick of us.
I remember I was talking to someone who I was interested in, and like the fact that we were both into anime and stuff like that. I was like, it would be funny if for like the pregnancy announcement things, if you did the scene from Dragon Ball Z Abridged. The girl dresses up as Bulma, the guy dresses up as Vegeta, and like the caption on the picture would be like, "I thought you said you were wearing protection. I was wearing my armor."
That's pretty good. If nobody else got that, I'd be like, I got it.
I'm definitely saving that in my bag just in case I do end up with someone who's into anime and stuff like that.
Right.
Because yes.
I'm totally there for that one. I was wearing my armor. Yes, yes, yes. Gallic gun fire.
Vegeta, yes.
Cutscene. You know this hit the record for like the longest ending ever, this game?
Ah.
Let me see how long it actually is.
Drop your weapon.
I was waiting for Eddie to come back to go get my dinner, but I'm about to go eat.
Okay. What's for dinner?
Good question. I don't know.
Well, whatever it is, I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
So I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream after this cutscene is over with. But I'll still be around to chat if you guys
You
are
haven't
still
even taken the safety off.
if you're not busy or whatever the case may be.
Careful. I'm no rookie. I'm a 10-year vet.
Okay. I'll be back real quick. And if I don't make it back before you end the stream, bye everyone.
Don't move. CQC, real big boss, huh?
So yeah, this for anybody who's still here,
Lower your weapon.
it is it has the Guinness World Record for the longest cutscene in a video game.
I wouldn't try anything
Which
funny if I were you.
Which probably also is the longest ending as well. But the actual record is for the longest cutscene. The ending of this game is 71 minutes.
Snake.
Meryl Silverberg. Meryl.
Is that you? What happened to your face?
Accelerated aging. They don't know the cause.
Oh my god.
Meryl, you're my informant in the U.S. military.
And must be the inspector sent by the UN. Akiba!
Commander!
Rude.
Sorry.
Rapid 01. We're with the CID. One of the bodies investigating PMC
Pose.
activity.
Ha! I love how he comes into that pose.
Here, you can have this back. What is your problem? You okay? Stomach pains?
He was sick earlier. So trust me, that's not just a sick joke that they're doing. That's actually going to have some significance to the story. Or at least to his story.
It's been 4 days since Liquid arrived in the area. And since then, this woman's been with him. A combatant. Some kind of advisor. Maybe a scientist.
I think Meryl's changed quite a bit. She's a woman now.
So, you're the commander of this O1 unit.
Why? Something with that? Here, I'll introduce you to the team. That's Ed, our radio man and sniper. The sleeping giant is Jonathan. Don't stand behind him. He hates it when people go around his back. And finally, Johnny. Everybody just calls him Akiba.
Commander, I've finished installing the sensors. Whoa.
Okay, Akiba. Anyway.
You're all grown up.
Maybe it's because someone taught me well. A certain legendary hero. who suddenly disappeared. You quit the unit. I never gave up on you. On Foxhound. Back then, I just wanted you to accept me. I wanted you to turn around. See who I was. I'm playing little love games.
So, just so you know, the nickname for Johnny, Akiba, refers to Akihabara district of Tokyo filled with stores selling electronics, manga, and anime merchandise and other products designed to appeal to a otaku subculture, which says the Akibake is Japanese slang similar to a meaning to otaku, which Otacon is also an otaku.
There's no way he'll succeed.
So, you know, he's got all this tech. And I think that kind of plays into his nickname.
Soldier engaged in combat action, whether he's State Army or PMC. Each individual soldier has been fully ID tagged with nanomachines injected into their bodies for that purpose. The nanomachines keep track of the soldiers and their real-time personal data 24 hours a day. They monitor each man's position, movement speed, reserve ammo, firing accuracy, wounds, rations, water intake and supply, sweat secreted, heart rate, blood pressure and sugar levels, oxygen. All the data gathered on body condition, on sensory organ data showing pain and fear, data on every internal response within the body. All of it is collected by an AI at the system's core. This data is monitored at HQ to enable command to make quicker, more precise, more rational decisions. It also enables crisis management for each individual soldier. It's being used by the US military, by state armies in allied countries, by PMCs. Even police agencies are starting to adopt it. Unless they agree to implement the system, PMCs aren't permitted to send troops anywhere.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Of course.
What do?
Yeah, Sam went to eat dinner.
Knowing you're being watched 24/7. But I've got
We're waiting for this last scene before we end the stream, but you know, I'll still be in Discord.
Get a clearer picture of what's going on around.
Heard you.
So there's less confusion during missions.
One of my friends are coming over. I just don't know when.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm 5 minutes away. Hadn't left the house yet.
That part.
Yeah. We all have friends like that.
Mind you. He's not even black. He's on black people time.
That's
trash. It's like only 4 minutes late, so it's fine.
So it's easy to imagine them betraying their clients by
Yeah, but we were talking about like food and recipes and stuff, and I was talking about how, because she was talking about how in Animal Crossing apparently the food has been made to look really good, and I mentioned how Ignis in Final Fantasy 15, every recipe he cooks looks amazing. And I was like, yo, I can't stand that, because that food looks so good. I want to reach into the TV and eat it, but it's a game.
Yep. And then you get so mad because she's just like, oh.
Because I feel like I understand the benefits, but I remember I went to a point where I wasn't even eating. Like I get like the most basic dish, because I had to sleep and rest, because I've been running around for 5 days. You gotta rest. So I would get like the most basic dish, or I would sleep at a hotel, because if you sleep at a hotel, Ignis doesn't cook.
What?
Yeah, Ignis don't cook. You don't eat. The only time Ignis cooks is if you're camping.
I just met a guy who said he can launder ID guns.
There can't be more few hundred of those gun launderers. It's just a grassroots movement.
Ain't
It's
that
not
about
enough
it?
to
Oop.
affect the entire PMC war machine.
So I would like purposely
Liquid would have had to register as a PMC in the system to assemble
only stay at
all of that
hotels or
massive.
get something for a short while because, you know, I got frustrated with the food. But then again, I started to like really realize the benefits of eating, because you get certain boosts when you're going on certain missions or major boss fights or whatever. Those boosts will help you.
Plans, they sent us to sniff around the PMCs. Even with this SOP,
So then I was like, I'll suffer and just be hungry staring at the screen in this amazing food
disorderly conduct,
and each new recipe.
orders, contract violations. We act as backup for the system by monitoring the soldiers. PMC inspections are always carried out on the battlefield. That's why we're authorized to carry and use weapons. We've lost 5 inspection teams in the past few months alone. They were all undercover inside Liquid's PMCs.
Then, if you got caught,
We'd be exterminated like rats. But we're smarter than that. We've been mingling with the PMCs. And after 3 months of searching God knows how many battlefields, we finally tracked him down.
They have found Ocelot.
When we reported that we'd found Liquid, our superiors ordered us to provide the UN investigators with intel. But I didn't know it'd be you.
didn't the Colonel tell you he was sending me?
Colonel? Don't tell me it's Campbell.
Yeah,
He put you up to this?
you didn't know.
You gotta be kidding. You expect me to work with my uncle?
Meryl.
So
Bullshit. He's not my father.
there's a lot that has been revealed off screen in other media. So I'm gonna fill in the blanks real quick. Campbell, former colonel of Foxhound. Meryl was his niece, but in truth, it was revealed that it's actually his daughter. At one point, because his brother was also a soldier, but when his brother went off to be stationed elsewhere,
Yeah. Little violation of the need-to-know rule.
he had an affair with his sister-in-law.
You're still calling him Colonel.
And
As far as I'm concerned, we're still uncle and niece. I will never
he had this
be that
affair.
womanizing piece of shit.
She got pregnant with Meryl. But
He,
I guess they were able to maintain the lie. And he,
his new wife's
holding on to this secret until the death of his brother,
She's even got a kid. It's as if he's
maintained
given up
that he
on
was
making up
actually
with
her
his own
uncle.
daughter.
But she just recently found out that
Selfish.
he was actually her biological father who lied this whole time. So she's holding a grudge because of that.
Commander.
What is
Because
it?
remember in the first game, she was saying that the reason why she even joined the military to become a soldier was because she was trying to understand her father better. Well, she was pursuing a relationship with the father, with the wrong man, basically.
Mm-hmm.
This is not good.
Were you being followed?
No.
So it's a whole Maury, Jerry Springer, Jenny
There might
Jones,
have
Ricky
stood a
Lake,
reflection off my
Montel
scope lens.
Williams, Geraldo Rivera situation.
Whoa,
Oprah
wait,
Winfrey.
wait, hang on.
Yeah, Oprah ain't never did that on her show.
You
I'm
guys
just
think it
naming
was
talk
my
show hosts
fault?
now. That was like the old stories, Guiding Light,
It wasn't my fault.
Young and the Restless, them type of plot lines.
Oh man.
I'm not your uncle.
Look,
I'm your father.
Dumbass. We're moving out.
Meryl,
Very soap opera.
At a camp up ahead. I'll fill you in later.
Esa chica por qué?
I used to have to watch those stories when I was at my grandma's house.
Follow me.
She was into all of that stuff. Guiding light as the world turns.
She
never watched
what are the ones
Passions.
my grandma watched? She would watch Touched by an Angel, Grey's Anatomy.
Oh my goodness, that's my mom shows. Grey's Anatomy and Touched by an Angel. My mom loved those shows. She liked a lot of hospital stuff. I'm like, you're at the hospital all day at work. You ain't sick of it yet? Come home. She was watching that. She was watching ER. She was watching House.
Eye contact.
But I actually like House. House is funny.
These guys are with Liquid's private army.
I like Castle.
First, think later.
House was that. It was the dude that he was like. He would come up with the most random stuff, but it always worked.
I'm on point. Stay close. Got it?
Because he had like unconventional means.
Akiba.
He'd be like,
breathe deep.
he has some kind of acute something disease, and they were trying all of the textbook answers. He's like, no, I'm gonna stick an ink pen, you know, in his ear. You're gonna pour fruit juice down his throat, spin him around 3 times, and he'll be fine. And everybody's like, what? And it actually works most of the time. These random, unconventional remedies. Like, what medical school did you graduate from that allowed you to come out with these shenanigans? Where's my Patriot? You put my Patriot away? How dare they?
Oh, you gotta fight him.
So the Patriot is actually a storyline weapon from Metal Gear Solid 3. Big Boss's mentor. This was her weapon that she gives him right after she's defeated at the end. But the cool part about it is you can use it in a New Game Plus. And the cool part about that is the fact that it never runs out of bullets. Ever. Doesn't overheat, doesn't run out of bullets, you don't have to reload, nothing. So, apparently, when you have that save game and you copy it over to start a new game in this, they put the gun in your inventory so you can use it here. Even though Solid Snake never possessed the Patriot. I guess it's to imply that he took it off the boss's grave.
Maybe.
I don't see him doing something like that, but it's the only explanation as to why it's here. Like I said, it's mad useful. And then on top of that, like when you pull it out to get ready to use it, it plays little snippets of the theme song from Snake Eater. As kind of a reference.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs in this game. Oh, Colt 45. That's every time. Sorry. You're in the way.
Mahaha, mahaha.
Just, when the Patriot comes out, violence ensues. You gotta be out of the way. Let's switch to passions. I don't need a solid eye for this part. Ow! Let's see what other music is on this iPad. Oh snaps, one of the enders. This song always sounds like it should have been in Gundam Wing. You ever watch that show? Gundam Wing. Or any Mobile Suit Gundam show for that matter.
I have not. What? No, actually, I have seen.
So.
No, I think I've seen pretty much all of them.
You
think about it.
I was gonna say, I guess giant mechs are not your cup of tea. Everybody has like their taste in anime.
I like giant mechs, but only in Gundam. Every other ones I didn't really like that much. Oh no, I like Zoids.
Zoids was decent. I wasn't wowed by it, but Zoids was decent. But yeah, it's always been Gundam for me, particularly Gundam Wing overall. I also liked G Gundam, which it seems like that was kind of like the setup for what they did with Pacific Rim. Instead of a cockpit, you responded to your actual movements.
Hold on, Snake. One of Akiba's traps is still in the way. It's set too deep in the wall for the Mark II to get at it. You'll have to wait until Akiba gets there to disarm it.
Where are they? I'm trying to get back to help them. But unlike anything martial arts or giant mechs,
yeah. Coming.
fall. One of these has the ability to handguns. It has a grenade launcher attached. Here we go. No suppressor.
Let us.
And now, Metal Gear Solid 4 Integral Podcast.
Recorded at Konami HQ in downtown Tokyo, this is your host, Ryan Payton, for the exclusive in-game broadcast of
Metal Gear Solid 4 Integral Podcast.
Welcome to the first ever
Okay, I'm
Metal Gear
back.
Solid 4 Integral Podcast, number 1. It's going to be included in MGS4. As you know, playing through the game, as you're doing right now, you've got the iPod equipped, and you're listening to this show, and you're going to be able to download future shows in the coming months. But first, let me introduce Aki Saito, who's joining me on the program.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for joining me, Aki. It's kind of weird. We're in the future now. It's 106 days in the future that we're recording this.
Yes.
Or that we're broadcasting this. We're recording this in February, knowing that this is going to be burnt onto the Blu-ray disc for millions of people to enjoy.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never been burnt on a Blu-ray disc before.
Me neither.
So people listening to this, they come across the iPod in MGS4.
Yes.
They come across this episode, and they're wondering, now what exactly is this? What is this for?
Yes.
Good question.
This is to, well, actually, there's a lot of meanings, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, to ease the tension when you're playing the game,
right?
Things like that as well.
Yeah, you can play your own music. You can play this. You can ease the tension by listening to our voices,
our stupid conversations.
Yes. And you also ease the tension of Snake.
Yes.
Because his sight gauge will fill up if you're listening to music, or if you're listening to this program.
Metal Gear Solid 4 Integral Podcast.
This is really cool in the game. Obviously, as players know, they're playing this on an Apple iPod, not just a generic MP3 player. Now, Aki, you worked on this project. You worked on getting approvals from Apple. Can you talk about that process of getting the iPod into the game, which is very cool?
Yeah. Well, Kojima Production always comes up with cool ideas, and at that time, still, everyone has an iPod as a favorite music player, and we thought, as Hideo, Mr. Kojima, is a great Apple fan as well. We thought, why not we could install iPod in the game and just to use as an item, right? Yeah. So it was really fun working with Apple. They're really nice guys, actually.
And you're a super fan of
Bada-bada-boom.
Yes, me too.
Why are there so many of these people?
Within the company to have
Huh?
They call calling themselves the Beauty and the Beast unit.
When you take it a step further, you have competitors, PC, laptops.
I'm gonna shut up.
An Apple sticker over their brand, over their logo on that laptop. So people from a distance think that you're on a
The Beauty and the Beast unit.
Yeah, well, that's
Giggity. All these years, and I just now got that.
Right. You don't get though, and you want to work on a character that you love.
Well, you like to be that rebel, you know.
Yeah. Well,
but it's funny. But it's funny because you don't have to be a rebel.
All right, that was a process. So now it's time for so long, but we'll sing just one more song. Thanks for doing your.
Goodbye. Time now to my friend. So long.
Yes, classic.
Oh, that was a good childhood.
Listen, when they popped up on TikTok doing that, everybody was in tears.
Nostalgia was real.
So yeah, all I need now. Listen, Aphrodisiac. I'm sorry. It was a moment.
It's funny because you don't have to be a rebel
moment.
if you're outside of Japan,
It happens.
especially like in the States. You see
I'm getting yelled at because I'm over here having nostalgic moments.
But really,
and bringing up people's childhood memories.
With
The other thing is that this is all I need. I just need for them at some point to have Natalie and Ron from Gullah Gullah Island pop up, and then I'm good. I am good.
Yo.
If they come and they start singing the themes on the Gullah Gullah Island, it's a wrap for me. I'm gonna be a hot mess in a corner crying somewhere. That's probably gonna hit me more than Steve's message.
Nah, what I'm gonna do is sample it and make a whole remix, whole new song, son. What?
Listen, cause you know the guy, I guess his name's like Marquise or something like that. He's always doing these remixes. Swears the remix god. That dude. Which they've officially dropped the remix for the Kyle Rittenhouse Crying.
What?
I knew it was coming, but there's a song for Kyle Rittenhouse crying in court now. Yeah, that happened.
I have no questions. But I'm gonna need them to like never have a clone age so fast again because he looks so out of place.
They can see what I see.
What you mean?
He looked like he about to break his hip any moment now. Like no.
Well, so the suit kind of like, because he's so like frail at this point. So the suit is kind of like, pumping up his muscles or whatever. It's like stimulating or basically he's walking in a suit of steroids.
Hey, Aphrodisiac, come now. Let's play together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah. Hey! Ah!
Don't you do that.
It wasn't me, it was Aphrodisiac.
Just take your foot in your hand. Let's all hurry up. Don't miss the good things that we planned. So come and let's play together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah. Binya. Listen. First of all, one of my cousins was like terrified of Binya Binya.
Why?
I don't know. But they were absolutely terrified of Binya. It was like a giant yellow polywog. Come on.
I'm okay. I get that, but like if all the other things are on TV, like Benya Benya, there was a whole giant bird that was massive.
This is true.
At least Benya Benya was at least eye level.
I mean, if anybody's gonna be scared of something, it's gonna be Snuffleupagus, not Big Bird.
That part right there.
But
Snuffleupagus will snuff you out.
but and Aphrodisiac knows
Yes,
this because
nostalgia.
Aphrodisiac knows this because I've like talk about it. But like as a kid, I had the biggest crush on Marisol. Do you remember who that is?
I know where Liquid is.
Wait, one more time. Who?
Marisol.
It's to the north of
No, I don't remember.
So you had the regular set of kids that you know that they were there. You had Simeon, James, Vanessa, Shayna. But then you had the little white boy that would come over sometimes, and then you had Marisol. Now Marisol was like older than all the others.
Yeah.
But she would come to the house sometimes, and she would teach them like Spanish songs and all that stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
More problematic ever.
Yo, I need them to put this back on TV. Well, not reboot it, but like get the old episodes out. Put on at least Paramount or some shit.
No, don't do it on Paramount. I'm sick of them pushing stuff over to Paramount.
I mean, yeah, but if it's not for nothing, I just want it back. If they put it on Paramount, I'm just saying, F it, I'm buying it. I'll cry about the money later. I'm gonna buy it from them so I can rewatch the whole thing of Gullah Gullah, out of the box, everything, just to get that out of my system. And then I'm going to cancel it.
Listen, we had so many shows. Out of the Box, Gullah Gullah Island, Between the Lions. For some of us, like me, who didn't have cables, Big Comfy Couch.
See, I like Between the Lions, but for some reason I always felt like low-key they did pot. I don't know why. I just felt like they just looked like they did pot.
Oh my gosh, yo.
Smoking mad everything.
That's funny. I cannot. That's funny. That's funny. These shots are like really bad. I was gonna show you her, but all of these shots are like terrible. And she's always like in mid sentence and like her mouth wide open, or her head's turned to the side. Like it's a bunch of profile shots.
Mouth wide open.
Don't do it. We're not doing that today. We're not. We're not. Behave, sir.
Who sings that song? Yo, whatever happens. Actually, you know what? Let me shut up. This is rated PG-13.
So yeah, we're about to get off so that you can be filterless and say a bunch of nonsense. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and say farewell for now. And I don't know what's going on. His signal is all crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and say farewell for now. And thank you for tuning in, hanging out, chatting. Make sure that you stop by. I'll be doing Final Fantasy VII Remake throughout the week. And I'll be doing Final Fantasy VII throughout the week, and make sure you're back here next weekend as we continue Metal Gear and all of the nonsense.
I got.
That wasn't possible, so I made a cool video, and they seem